Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and maintenance. Today we're going to talk about singer Sam Smith and his recent weight gain and how he rationalizes his weight gain as something positive and what you can learn from this. Now before I begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, which has hundreds of articles and recipes, my 2 books, which you can find on Amazon, and lastly, if you appreciate my content, there is a link for PayPal. All right, so Sam Smith, you might know him because he's had a couple of hits the last 10 years. Probably Stay With Me was probably his big hit. He kind of is like a George Michael to me, but he doesn't do up-tempo songs like George Michael. He's more of like a soulful singer kind of person. But he recently released his new album, which I think was called Gloria. I don't really listen to his music. And he has gained weight. A sizable amount of weight. And I saw him on Saturday Night Live recently, and he was performing. He performed, I think it was in late January. And he was wearing this weird pup tent outfit like Sia, like these weird avant-garde things. So you really could tell that he gained weight. But he's gained quite a bit of weight. Now, I don't think it's connected to this, but he recently came out as non-binary, so he likes to be called they, them. And he talked about recently how he's always had a disordered relationship with food growing up, and that he has a predilection to junk food, and that his weight waxes and wanes. And apparently when he was younger, before he became well known, he was more chubby. And then he lost weight when he became a successful singer. So when his first 2 albums came out, he was regular weighted. And then in the last few years, in the intervening years, he's gained weight. And he's overweight now. Now, I'm interested in this because I tend to be kind of a cynic, and I've talked about in the episode on why we should not embrace the body positive movement, how you see celebrities kind of spin their weight gain a certain way. So I remember, like in particular, Kirstie Alley was an actress in the 80s who just died recently actually, and she gained a lot of weight, and she'd come on People magazine like, I'm big and I'm okay, I'm accepting my body, I love my body. And then later on she died, she comes back on People magazine and says, I was in a dark place, now I love myself, da 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 da. And I wonder, like, if Sam Smith had not gained the weight in the intervening years, if he would be pushing this body positive, I love the fact that I've gained weight, it is what it is, this is me, I have the opposite of body dysmorphia. That's another thing that he said recently. And I wonder of that. I wonder if his PR team is just saying, look, you've gained weight, just get in front of it and just own it. Now, if I was him, and we talked about it with Adele. See, Adele suffered from the opposite thing. Adele was always overweight. She lost the weight, and she was fit shamed by a lot of her followers that liked her. And her last album partly didn't do well because she's alienated the fat women that used to support her. So, but this is the opposite. So Sam Smith, I think if I was Sam Smith, or really it's his PR team, but let's be real, this is what I would say. I've had a history of disordered eating. I like junk food. My weights come and go. Right now my weight, unfortunately, is bigger than what it needs to be. I need to have a healthier relationship with food. I need to no longer have a dysfunctional relationship with food where I associate emotions with food, a lot of things that we talk about here. And I hope that within the next year or 2 I can lose weight, because I understand that being overweight is not good for my health. The guy is young. I mean, he's only 30 years old. He's very young. But this is the kind of intellectual honesty that I would want to hear from him. But we live in this world of the body positive. We live in this world of the cancel culture. We live in this world of you can't offend anybody, the snowflake culture and so forth. And so instead, and he is from that generation, he is essentially, between Gen Z and millennials. In the Gen Zs, every objective statistical indicator is telling you that they are the most vulnerable, the most depressed, the most snowflakey of every generation, because they kind of grew up in this milieu. That he's gonna say what the body positive movement wants you to say. I'm big, I'm fat, I'm loving it, I'm okay with it. You know what, though, Sam Smith, I know deep down that you're not. You know why? Because I was in your situation. And no fat person wants to be fat. But you have to make lemonade out of lemons. But I think embracing the body positive movement is not making lemonade out of lemons. And saying that I'm fat and then posting pictures of himself in a Speedo, overweight, it's not. I know you're owning it, and I think part of it is just skeptical. The skeptic in me that thinks that you want to increase sales by saying that you're this kind of guy who's very embracing of his obese body or his overweight body, and maybe that's going to make you look authentic to a certain segment of the population who will then buy your records. But I just think in general, authenticity is the better approach. And he might honestly think, I look better now overweight than I did 5 years ago when I was skinny. He could think that, but again, we are not dictated by emotion. We're dictated by logic and reason. And logic and empiricism would tell you that no, you're not in a better place right now, Sam Smith. You're overweight, you're 30 years old, and if you keep this up, you're gonna die young. We don't want that. You have a good voice, you have talent. We don't want that. So let's work on it. Let's work on it. And I think that I think there's probably some cognitive dissonance. I think on one level he really believes this, but deep down he'd rather be regular weighted. But he doesn't know how to be regular weighted because he has a disordered relationship with food, which he's admitted. So I think in closing, the better approach to this is what I just mentioned. Be like, I've had a disordered relationship with food since I was a child. As a result, my weight waxes and wanes because I'm addicted to junk food and I emotionally eat. And right now I'm just not in a good place, and I want to be in a good place. Now, I think even if you believe that, because again, there's layers of the onion. Even if he did believe this, I think if he said that, he'd be worried, or his record company would be worried that he's going to alienate the body positive people, the fat people, and so forth. Which is a shame, because that's exactly what fat people need to hear, is obesity is not a positive thing. It's not a positive thing. And Sam Smith has a good moment because his album's just been released, so he's doing a lot of interviews where he could say these things. But I think when you're beholden to mammon, like the statement in the New Testament, beholden to money, and your career is contingent upon record sales, he and his PR team are probably trying to figure out, okay, who are we offending less by either approaching or appealing to the I'm fat, I'm proud, or whatever, or are we alienating more by saying, I'm overweight, I need to lose weight? I don't know. But overall, Sam Smith, look, you're a talented guy. Every overweight person, I want them to lose their weight because the large majority of them want to lose weight. But more importantly, we want you to live a long time, and obesity does shorten your life expectancy. Either way, I will pray for you. Guys, post in the comments. Let me know what you think of Sam Smith. Or have you been in this situation? What do you think of the body positive movement? Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.